Hello, friends. This week has gotten away from me. It's been a good week, a busy week, a very productive week with work and home. My house, I thought it would be packed up by now, but I'm going to be honest, the time is minimal. Like, I have very little time. Still in the recovery process of, going through my stroke, and I still tire easily. So I just, it is what it is. William's very prepared, and he's very well aware that I have done very little packing, and he's okay with it. I got blessed because my brother, the awesomeness that he is, he's the greatest. I love him. And he called, I think, Sunday after I had a massive breakdown. And I didn't talk about this on the last video, but I just had a breakdown. Like, I'd hit a wall and I was exhausted and I was done and I was tired. And by all means, there's nothing that says that I have to paint the whole house or I have to pack the house. William is very aware that we're going to have to do some of this once he gets in. But my brother so graciously stepped in because my mom reached out to him and said she's just tired. And y'all, he has been out at my house painting, like, love him. And I can tell you that I cannot ask for better family. I truly cannot ask for better people in my life. Um, and my brother, let me tell you a little backstory there really quick. When I was younger, I have to say, I can think about things now and say, wow, I'm surprised my brother loved me at all, but he always stood by my side. And the one thing about the older brother is, like, he's the parent brother, so he was the one that was more strict. And I never say he expected more or wanted more or whatever, but he had higher standards for me than I probably had for myself, because he was basically my father. Like, sounds weird, but he helped raise me. When I started my period, it was my brother that was there. So as I got older and did some stupid shit in my life, like, I'm dumb. Like, I did a lot of dumb stuff myself, and he kind of, I don't think he walked away. He never walked away, but he put boundaries up and made me work for things in life, what I wanted, and just helped me mature more. And when about the time I moved to the city, it was funny because he would come by and check on me, and it was, doing the big brother stuff. And I think that's when I really understood the love between my brother and I. I no longer seen him as not loving me, not liking me. I didn't see him as the mean brother. It just was a different experience, Age has a lot to do with that. And the older that I get, I've been through so much. And what's crazy is when something traumatic happens or something bad happens, I reach out to him immediately. Like, mom's got to go to the hospital, text, like, as I'm going, because I know that his response will help create a better atmosphere. So my brother is amazing. And I have another amazing brother too, and he's the same way. Like, I've never had to question if my brothers would have my back. Never, ever. The only difference with the other brother is that he's in a different state. So, if I need something immediately, then I reach out to the one. So, but my family is pretty amazing. My mom, everybody's just stepping in and helping out. And thank goodness for that, because your girl had to sit down and say, I was tired. And I did. Sunday, I just sat and talked to my mom, and tears flowing. And I'm like, if William would come home today, William would have had no hesitation. But the thing with that is that we think about our future a lot, and I can do this. We can make sure this is done. There's no need for him to rush home. And I mean, he gets good time off, but you don't want to jeopardize that either. So, I just feel like if it's something that I can do it. Now, I've done told him the house is not going to be packed. I got 5 boxes, I think, packed. And that might be all that's sitting here next Wednesday when he gets home. 5 boxes packed. I'm hoping not, but my point is that when he comes in, we're still going to have busy, he comes in next Wednesday. So we're on a countdown. So next Wednesday he'll be in and we will pack up our house and move it out to our new home. And then Sunday we leave. So that will be a busy few days there, but it'll be the best few days. And I'm ready. I'm excited. I was out there today, because again, we moved in the country and I went to go to Uber just to see, what I'm going to get out there, what can be delivered. And they said, nothing. We don't service your area. And I'm like, oh Lord. Reality started kicking in that I'm going to have to like grocery shop and prepare. Like when I go home, I need to make sure I have everything. It's not far out of town, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing. I don't want to come back to town because I forgot something. So it's going to be some changes. It'll be good. But talking about that, we're gonna kind of tie in with what I was talking about. Like I thought my brother didn't love me or like me, and we're gonna kind of refresh too. Like we're gonna talk about suicide, and I'm gonna talk today a little bit about self-doubt, and I think it's something that leads to a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of depression, a lot of if your self-doubt or self-worth is bad, then it's hard to move forward, So when we get into that place, it's hard to dig out, and sometimes we can't. And whether it's I can't do this, whether it's I don't look good, whether it's that's too hard, or whatever your self-doubt is, it's a bring down. Like it pulls you, it weighs you down. And in the basis of mental health, y'all, every diagnosis I make for depression, like every time I say, okay, this client has depression, self-worth is always part of that. And our self-worth is the hardest thing to work on. I make it sound easy. I make it sound way easy. Just love yourself. Love yourself. But I understand that it's deep. It's very, very deep. And you have to really work through it. And there's tools out there that will help, yes. But it all generates, all the negative thoughts, this low self-worth, the negative impacts on our thinking comes from within. So there's a lot of layers you've got to get those changes to happen. It's easy when it's something that it's, like my hair's not pretty, you can go fix your hair. You can go get a haircut to get it to how you want it. Anymore, if you want your butt fuller, you can go get a butt job or a boob job, or, there's a lot of things that you can go and do to fix things, but it doesn't mean that it fixes that inside, I can tell you, write down positive affirmations, put them all over your house. That's easy to do. You can write them down, but you truly have to start believing within. Your worth comes from within. How you feel about yourself comes from within. And I struggled with that for a long time, and I put on this great face, like I love myself and God is good and we're everybody. I did that. I played that role for a long time, a fake role. And I'm going to tell you, that was the hardest struggle I had. It was something that impacted me every second of every minute of every hour of every day. It was a challenge. And so when I can tell you, like, mine came in waves throughout my life. Starting back from when I was young, things had happened to me, and I was like, well, I deserved it because I'm this, or you should have known that would happen because of this, or, whatever it was. It started back then, and it just followed me through my years. Thankfully today, I don't have much. Like, even when I had my back against the wall Sunday and said I can't do it, it was nothing negative about myself. It was knowing myself enough to know I was exhausted. It had nothing about questioning my abilities or my worth or, none of that. It all had to do with I knew I was just tired. Okay. And I think, hold on. I wasn't self-doubting who I am. I wasn't self-doubting that it could be done. I was doubting the fact that my body would let me go one more minute. Now, if my brother wouldn't have stepped in and painted and helped me with that, guys, I would have been out there on Monday starting, I would have done all that I could just to make this be done. But again, I'm blessed with great people. So it wasn't any self-doubt. It was just knowing my limits, knowing where I was. And I've had a very rough year. And one thing that I've had to do is listen to myself about that kind of stuff. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I can't do it. I know that if I hadn't have had COVID and I wouldn't have had a stroke, I probably could have got a lot more done without a lot more of this head against the wall, But as far as everyday life, okay, the only thing I doubt myself with today is taking my LPC exam, my national exam. And I think that's because I'm scared. I'm terrified. It's not because I'm not smart. I don't doubt my smartness. I don't doubt, my abilities, but I do doubt my memory right now. And when I tell you that if it's not wrote down in front of me, I have a hard time remembering, that's 100% the truth. So that's where I'm at today with my exam. So it's, again, yes, it's self-doubt, but it's not something that I'm carrying all the time. It's about one subject, and that will change once it happens. So when we're talking about things deeper, I can't get a girlfriend because, I can't get a boyfriend because, I can't get a job because, I can't get out of bed because, I can't have nice things because I can't, just anything that we're doubting, my hair doesn't look good enough. I'm too fat. I'm too this. It's all this self-doubt that we carry around. And I did that for a long, long time. And I think what my breaking point was, to be honest, was I went from a really low spot, and then when I got married, I went to a really high spot and thought, very well of myself because I was doing all the things in life. I was a wife, and I was like caring for a child, and I was going to school, and I was working to provide, and I was doing all the things that helped boost my self confidence. It left me with zero self doubt. But I didn't realize that's that fakeness that I was putting on, because all of that was external. Nothing fixed the internal. It made it a little bit easier each day, but it didn't actually fix it. And I realized that when I got divorced. Okay. So just to put my business out there, because that's what I do. My ex-husband had cheated on me, and I took him back the first time, and we went to counseling. We went to counseling for a solid 9 months. Everything was great. So I thought, only to find out that, we graduated marriage counseling, and then a week later, I find out he's still cheating on me, My self-worth went down the drain. That fakeness that I had been carrying, that smile that I had, everything that I was doing prior to that was gone. I was at my lowest low. I didn't think I deserved to live. I didn't think I deserved to have family support. I didn't think I deserved a lot. I didn't believe that I could make it. It was probably the hardest point in my life. And I all of a sudden lost the title of being a wife and a caregiver, and that was ripped from me. So I wasn't good enough to do that anymore. And I was, my title of being a mom was ripped from me all in an instant, all in a moment. it was all ripped from me. And so my self-worth and my self-doubt was very, very, very bad. Very bad. And again, my family's just stuck together. They were there for support. They let me vent when I needed to vent. My brother would come over and do all that I needed him to do at any time, because I could mow. But I mean, literally, when I mow, I almost die because I'm asthmatic, right? So that wasn't smart. He would cut down trees. He would help me so much. And it was those acts from the people that I loved and hearing them say, you can do this. And that's when I started looking at myself and saying, why am I doubting myself? What is it? I am not the negative stuff that's happened to me. I am not my body image. I am not what other people say. I am me. I am me, and I can only be genuinely me if I start with taking care of me. And so it started with self-love. I had to understand that I did not love myself. I don't know when I stopped loving myself, but I can tell you I didn't love myself even in my marriage, I had stopped loving myself long before that. And I mean, we can go into other videos about it and I can talk about more where I think it came from. But the overall point is that I stopped loving me. Okay. I was to that point of where I'm going to be honest. I teetered suicide. I wondered if I deserved to live. I wondered if, I needed to take a space in the world. I got to that point. And I can tell you that was the scariest feeling I ever got, that I've ever had. I couldn't think right. I wasn't doing my job right. I wasn't going to work and enjoying it. Nothing positive was happening. But the more that I reached out to my family and my support group and all my people, the better that got, because that's what made my life. Those people, the people that still loved me regardless, the people that supported me and, basically held my hand through months and months of just torturing myself, the ones that were there, and with that, I just dove deep into my soul and said, what do I, as a person, as Diane, not as a wife, not as a mother, not as an employee, not as a therapist, what do I love about me? And with time, I was able to start finding that. And I did the whole thing where I would get up every morning and I would read daily affirmations, and I would grab something from every daily affirmation and I would run with it, I would go to bed at the end of every night and I would make myself do just as I asked my clients. I would make myself journal about 2 positive things that helped me through the day, 2 things that I loved about myself for the day, 2 things that I had no control over that happened the day. Every day I set a goal for myself to do this. And then I got to the point where I had mirrors on my closet because I had slidable glass doors. And so I got to the point where I would go in and I would write on my mirrors, you are strong, you are kind, you are loved, you are special, you love from the heart. Like, I would write everything on there. And within, months, maybe years, I was going to say months, because, what I found is as soon as I started finding me and my self-worth started getting better, my self-doubt started getting better. I wasn't doubting who I was. Guys, I just started, like, one day I said, I'm going to go walk. And I went and walked that damn track, and I walked, and I walked, and I walked. And before I know it, I had done a mile, and I was sweating my ass off, and I was just doing the things. And then, that became a daily routine. And, I just started getting fueled and motivated from all the things that I was putting before me. I was putting in front of me to see the things that I was making myself do. I became somebody for myself, Not for a husband, not for a man, not for a woman, not for kids, not for anybody, but for me. So what that did is that fueled me. That fueled me. Here I was going through school, living life, thinking that, oh, I can be a therapist. And in reality, I needed that last little hoorah, because that is what started fueling me. That is what made me say, what the hell am I doing for myself? Why am I doing this? I didn't date for a while. After my divorce, I had called off. Mom, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but I had told myself I would not depend on a damn man. I would learn to be independent. My self-worth was on an all-time high. And I was just flourishing. I was flourishing at work. I was flourishing at school. I was flourishing at my internship. I was just doing so well because I started believing in me. Okay? I started believing in me. So I had to dig out of those dark times. I had to find me to find my self-worth. Once I found me, my self-doubting was gone. Though mowing the lawn killed me, because my kiddo, if she didn't mow, I would get out there and mow. Would I get sick? Hell yeah, I would. I would get sick. I would get sicker than a dog. But I didn't let anything hold me down. Nothing told me you can't, because I had every ability to. Nothing said you aren't worth, because I knew I was worth it. Nothing said you're not pretty enough, because I was beautiful. My beauty started within. Am going on that? Am I what everybody looks for? No. But you know what? That's good, because that made me. It was at that time in my life I said, well, hell, why would I want anybody that's going to judge me or criticize me or, make me be somebody like a small, skinny model to be with them? No. Not happen. I was totally, my mindset had totally changed, but it took me getting really, 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 really deep and dark. Like I said, that depression that I was in then, when I say I can see why it would be easier to not be alive, it's true. And I know why mental health problems, coexisting issues, I know why that makes suicide an easier an option. I do. So, what I want to say is we will be talking about self-doubt, self-worth, self-love a lot. That's something that I just can't get away from, because today I can tell you, even if you don't like the way I look, I have somebody that is in my life that is very important to me, that loves everything about me. Everything. And that's why he is my person. You go find yours. You have your raha moment. You go find yours. You make them yours because you love them for who they are. I'm not criticizing anybody that has, certain standards. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying I didn't make myself fit somebody's standards. I was able to be 100% me and still have what makes me happy today. And my self-worth, I'm worth $1 million plus. I can tell you that today, There's no amount of money that can take that away from me. There's not one person that can take that away from me. My self-doubt, it's gone. I don't doubt myself anymore, because I can. I can make sure that I am healthy and I am doing what I need to do to take care of me, which was putting my back against the wall the other day and saying I'd tap out. That was me being healthy. That was me making, my worth better. If you have somebody, if you're doubting the way that you look, you know what? God only made one you. One you. But it starts from within. Your looks really should have nothing to do with any kind of a relationship. Nothing at all. Okay? I think William could have one toe, grungy hair, and I don't know. He could look horrible. Okay? And I would still find the attraction in who he is. Okay? And that's how life should be. That's how life should be. Society has taught us that we can't date anything but a specific thing. Society has taught us that all relationships are bad. Society has taught us a lot of negativity. And that negativity has been taken in by you. And that's adjusting your self-thoughts, your negative thinking. That's making that worse. So think about that. Let it set in. If you take away all of the negativity that your environment and society holds, and you strip down to your core person, think about who you are. Think about what you possess inside. Think about what you want and speak that into existence. I'm not talking, don't say you want $1 million, because that might not happen, okay? I'm not talking that way. But for your soul, for your person, you can speak that stuff into existence. You can do things. If you're having negative doubts or negative thoughts, put positive thoughts in front of you. Let that be what feeds you. Okay? So, if you have yourself or somebody that you know that is struggling with self-doubt, feeling worthless, any of that, not worthy, let them be aware that you are for them. Okay? Because if it wouldn't have been for my family staying beside my soul when I felt so bad about myself, I think I could have taken a different path. And I don't think it would have been pretty. And I think that they would be lonely today and wonder what they could have done. So let that sink in. If you have somebody that is doubting themselves, sometimes we don't need to tell them what to do. We need to tell them about what we think. We need to just be there. Okay? It's like me. I can't tell, like, I have a buddy that struggles with their self-worth. And I'm like, you need to improve your self-worth. No, that's not what I'm doing. I make comments to help them along the way. I never let them doubt that somebody sees something that they're doing. Okay? Because I want to point it out to them in case nobody else does. That way they have that person. That, if I'm the only one that's encouraging it, then I am. Now, because they're my friend and they know what I do, I would then step in and, try to provide tools. Maybe I would give them a positive affirmation packet. Hey, read this, maybe I would sit with them in silence. There's things that I would do as a therapist, as a therapist trying to be a therapist, that would be different because of that part of me. But overall, it doesn't change that I would just allow them to know that they are seen, they are loved, and they are cared for. Okay? So, I hope this reaches all that need to hear it. And if you're hearing it and you're going, and you have questions, email me. Let me know. But for now, I'm going to get off of here because you can see I've freshly showered and I'm feeling great. I still don't have my nails done yet. But it's just a thing. It doesn't change who I am, right? Nails or no nails. And I'm going to just relax for a little bit and then go to bed. It's late, so that's what we do. But I hope you guys have a great evening. Have a great Friday. Make it the best Friday. And I don't know when I'll be back on. Again, I'm trying to get some stuff done. But I will be back. And until then, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for future notifications. Okay? Thanks, guys. Have a great day. If I can find the button. Have a great day.